She's on different meds.
Right. They just upped her dose with diabetes. She's not over it. Yo.
All right, here we go. Township of Edison Zoning Board of Adjustment regular meeting of special meeting of September 30th, 2025 is now in session. Adequate notice of this meeting as required by Open Public Meetings Act of 1975 has been provided by the annual notice published in the Home News and Tribune on December 13th, 2024, and has been posted in the main lobby of the municipal complex on December 18th, 2024. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Mr. O'Bara? Here. Mr. Bignell? Here. Ms. Shaw? Here. Mr. Ayotte?
Here.
Mr. Johnny?
Here.
Mr. Chabra?
Here.
Mr. Cerrito?
Here.
Mr. Schneider?
Here.
And Chairman Kumba.
Here. Madam Secretary, minutes for consideration.
Minutes of September 16th, 2025 for approval.
What's the board's pleasure?
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Schneider, seconded by Mr. Cerrito. Roll call, please.
Mr. Cerrito?
Yes on the motion.
Mr. Chabra?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes to the motion.
And Chairman Kumba.
Yes on the motion.
Thank you.
Madam Secretary, first resolution for consideration.
C5, 2025, Abhishek Bhardwaj. It's a denial resolution.
What's the board's pleasure?
Motion to approve the denial?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Schneider, seconded by Mr. Johnny. Roll call, please.
Mr. Chabra?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Cerrito?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Johnny?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes to the motion.
Thank you.
Next resolution.
Z21, 2025, Pratima Parab, approval of a resolution.
What's the board's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion made by Mr. Chabra, seconded by Mr. Schneider. Roll call, please.
Mr. Johnny?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Chabra?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes to the motion.
And Chairman Kumba.
Yes on the motion. And the final resolution.
Z45, 2023, Juana Lopez, approval of the resolution.
What's the board's pleasure?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Schneider, seconded by Mr. Chabra. Roll call, please.
Mr. Chabra?
Yes to the motion.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes to the motion.
And Chairman Kumba.
Yes on the motion.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening. We have two announcements for this evening. Case Z17, 2025, Suresh and Darshana Modi at 152 Lund Avenue will not be considered for this evening. They will have to renotice to a later date. Case Z24, 2022, Old Post Realty LLC at 604 and 610 Old Post Road. It has been adjourned and renotice is required to move forward, and new date is assigned. Madam Secretary, there was one other case that had been on the agenda that I believe is getting.
They did not notice, so.
Okay, can I just read that into the record? Can I just have the case number?
Sure. It is. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. Case Z19, 2025, Jessica Lasky at 286 Central Avenue. It will have to be renoticed if you're here for this case. Z19, 2025, Jessica Lasky at 286 Central Avenue. It will not be heard this evening, and the applicant will have to renotice. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special meeting in the Township of Edison Zoning Board of Adjustment. The board is composed of Edison Township residents appointed by municipal council who volunteer their time and service to the board. The municipal land use law requires that members successfully complete a land use training course administered by the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. This board also holds in-house training conducted by our board professionals. The zoning board abides by the provisions of the municipal land use law in addition to our board's bylaws. The zoning board is a quasi-judicial land use board, which differs from the township planning board. Under the municipal land use law, board members are required to be impartial and are not allowed to discuss any case prior to being considered at a hearing. All applicants will have the opportunity to present their case before the board, along with the opportunity for board members and board professionals to question the applicant and their witnesses. At the conclusion of the applicant's presentation of their case, the case will open to the public. Residents within 200 feet of the subject site will be heard, followed by residents from outside of 200 feet. All residents will be sworn in. They'll provide their name and address. They'll be given 6 minutes to comment on the application being considered without the opportunity for rebuttal. Residents may ask questions of the applicant's professionals, and board professionals. The board requests that these questions are asked prior to any commentary being made on the application. Once commentary begins, the resident's timer will begin. The applicant will be allowed the opportunity for cross-examination of their witnesses. Under the law, the chair is allowed to stop any commentary which is repetitive or an attempt to filibuster the board. Further, the chair is allowed to stop any commentary that is irrelevant to the case or prohibited from the board's consideration. Once public portion is closed, all public comments are ended unless new testimony is presented by the applicant. Following the closure of the public portion, the applicant will have the right of summation on their application. Following summation, the case will go to the board for decision. This procedure has been followed by the board and is similar to the procedures followed by boards of adjustment statewide. The Mississippi Land Use Law requires the board to engage in a balancing act. It is not required to strictly apply township ordinances, zoning plan, or master plan. As a board of adjustment, variances are granted when appropriately necessary, following all legal considerations. As has been the case with prior boards, this board will see where we're at if we are still in session around 10:30 p.m. I ask that all applicants, professionals, and residents show respect to each other and be civil throughout all proceedings. I ask that you withhold applause, booing, or interrupting anyone while they are speaking. The chair will not tolerate any outbursts by applicants, professionals, or the public. Further, since most cases are being recorded by a court reporter, I ask the speakers do not speak over one another. Madam Secretary, first case, the request for extension.
Z22, 2023, Edison Infinity, care of MNAR, is a one-year extension request of preliminary and final site plan.
Board members, you should have received the letter from the council for MNAR requesting a one-year extension. If there's any discussion or if there's any motion with regard to this.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Ms. Chhabra?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the extension for 1 year for Edison Nissan.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Chhabra, second by Mr. Cerrito. Roll call, please.
Mr. Cerrito,
Yes on the motion?
Mr. Chabra,
Yes to the motion.
and Chairman O'Gorman, and Chair Kumba.
The guy's in Florida and you're still calling him chairman. I mean, really, wow. Just 'cause he's better looking than me,
Look
really.
at the wrong request.
Yes on the motion, Madam Secretary. Thank you.
Sorry.
Madam Secretary, first case on the agenda, please.
Case matter Z33, 2024, Asian Fresh of Edison LLC, 1829 to 1837 Lincoln Highway. Applicant is seeking preliminary and final site plan approval to convert the existing vacant retail music store to an Asian food market. The standards have not been met in accordance with the master plan. Existing minimum front yard required is 30 feet, proposed is 5 feet. Maximum lot coverage required is 25%, proposed is 39.5%. Max FAR required is 0.25, proposed is 0.39. Affected property is located in the GB zone, designated as block number 104.06, lot numbers 10.01 and 14.02 on the Edison Township tax map. All noticing paperwork is in order.
Good evening, Mr. Himmelman.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. David Himmelman for the applicant, Asian Fresh Edison, Inc. As you know, we were here, I guess it was July 29th, and we began our presentation, and as the evening progressed, we had to obviously adjourn the meeting, and it was carried to this evening. At the last meeting, you recall, we did have the applicant testify as to the overall operations of the proposed food market, and I believe she answered many questions from the board and your professionals. Then we had Mr. Mark Lieber, our professional engineer, did begin and concluded most of his testimony But I would like to, in terms of the order for this evening, to try and keep this as efficient as possible. What I'm going to suggest is we did submit revised plan, particularly with regard to the comments by your fire official. Mr. Lieber did submit a letter of September 15th, 2025, which included a annotated discussion of both a outline and response to many of the comments, both from your professional planner and your engineer's professional review memo, and also included with that was the fire truck turning template plans that was reviewed and approved by Chief Toth. So I thought it might be appropriate to have Mr. Lieber kind of walk us through that, clean up any of the testimony items that he needs to address. Then we would have our architect testify on the architectural features of the proposed market, including the signage plan that has been resubmitted and revised. And then we would have our traffic consultant and planner. Mr. Lieber is acting as both our planner and as our engineer. So, Mr. Chairman, if that is sufficient, we
that
can
works.
proceed.
Please do.
And I would ask Mr. Lieber to come forward. And we need to get you a chair. Or you want to stay over there? Or you want to come here? Okay.
I think this,
Mr. Lieber had been previously qualified.
They'll swear him in again.
I was
Mr.
just going to
Lieber,
say, but you have to swear him in, yes.
Right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, I do.
And state your full name for the record.
It's Mark with a C. Last name is Lieber, L-E-B-E-R.
Mr. Lieber, you're qualified in the last hearing. I just, one quick question, just to see if you're, so first you want to be qualified. We can take care of everything at once. You want to be qualified as an engineer and planner?
Sure.
And both licenses are current and good standing?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so we'll accept you as both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lieber, as you heard me state, I know you had submitted a letter of September 15th, 2025, along with your fire truck turning template plan. So what I would like you to do, if you could just quickly go through the items that you addressed, both from Delaware Raritan Engineering's letter and Bignell Planning Consultant's letter, and if you would just address any items that you would want to clarify, add testimony, or discuss any of the other issues that may not have been addressed in your letter. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, good evening again. There were two main submissions to the township ahead of this meeting. One you just heard about a moment ago about the signage, which the architect's going to discuss, but the submission that originated from my office was this fire truck turning template plan. I had the opportunity to discuss in August with Chief Toth on numerous occasions to make sure that I had the correct specifications for the type, length, and width of fire apparatus that he has in his inventory. That being said, also to be able to accommodate a right turn into the property from Lincoln Highway. And he did indicate in the letter dated, I believe, September the 11th, that this plan had met his expectations and was approved. And he also was asking about the location of the nearest fire hydrant, which we did label in red on that plan, which is directly across Greenwood Avenue from the property in question. There were a couple of things that I just want to bring back to everybody's attention. I know it's been some time since we were here last. Things that we more or less had discussed and agreed to at the last hearing. I'll start off with, there were some concerns about trash pickup and the size of the trash enclosure. We did agree to increase the trash enclosure to the right, which would result in the loss of one parking stall, and that would be fully fenced in and enclosed. That was agreed to. We also agreed that these lots would be consolidated through a deed, and that the no left turn sign that was requested would be added along the frontage at the highway, as well that the freestanding sign would be turned off after business hours. We were asked to construct a depressed curb ramp on the side of the building to facilitate deliveries. If you recall, there was a delivery area and a depressed curb on Greenwood. We agreed to remove that depressed curb, put in the full height curb, which would affect the sidewalk grades as well, that we were going to replace that sidewalk so that it would meet the new height of the curb in the back, and that area would no longer be accessible for any kind of deliveries. We also discussed, I believe Todd was here at the meeting, about adding trees and plantings along the frontages of the property. If you look at Plainfield Avenue, at some point in the past, someone had filled in what was supposed to be green space with asphalt, and we discussed that we would be happy to perform a site visit with him in person to identify how we can turn that space, revert it back to planting areas. And then along Greenwood, because we're going to be removing part of the sidewalk to remove that old loading zone, we now have the opportunity to put back less sidewalk and perhaps some space for trees and ground cover in that area as well. There was a question about a shipping container that we indicated would be removed from the property that would no longer be there.
If I could just
Yeah.
interrupt you, I'm sorry, I apologize. With regard to the landscaping, I noted that in your letter of September 15th, you had indicated that the applicant requests relief to maintain the landscaping which is situated in the right-of-way line?
Yeah,
Okay, so we're asking that relief?
that's correct.
Right, okay.
There were a series of comments in the Delaware Raritan letter, which was dated April 7th, and I did respond in pretty much line-by-line format in my letter on September 15th. There is really nothing in their letter that we disagree with or really can't comply with. Many of the items, I had clarified in this letter. Just to reiterate, we are asking for relief from EV spaces and EV parking, if the board was, so inclined to grant that. Many of the other items that we're dealing with on this property are all existing conditions, and that also goes into part of the planning, which wraps in the setback variances, and we'll talk about in a couple of minutes the floor area ratio, which is 0.39, which the zone only allows for 0.25. Other than that, there was a request for a maintenance plan for the drainage and the, whatnot on the property. We would be happy to provide that. We don't expect any remarkable increase in either water, sewer usage on the property. We had discussed the scheduling for trash pickup, which would be in the AM. The gates would be self-closing with latches. There was a question about fence encroachments, and we said we would look at any fence encroachments, and if it was our fence, it would be reset to the lot line. I think a lot of the other items were either addressed in the testimony or statements, but again, there's nothing in that letter that we disagree with. I also had an opportunity to review Bignell's letter, and we indicated that, with the zoning, a lot of these are existing nonconformities. For the parking, we had discussed a parking study report I had done. I don't know if you recall, but we had surveyed various locations of a similar style store, which we had picked as an Aldi because they don't have like a fresh meat counter where there's no butcher in the store, there's no bakery, things like that. We felt that that was most similar as a retail grocery store that our use represents. We talked in excess about the existing freestanding sign that's going to be reduced to a height of 33 feet. And we also went through, the mechanical equipment, of course, has to be screened. We're proposing to put it on the rooftop. I think there was a request to increase new trees to a 4-inch diameter planting size, which we did agree to. You'll see the facade signage plan in a moment from the architect. In essence, I do want to reiterate that the buildings on this property are existing and have been for many decades. We're trying to clean up the way in which the site circulates. For example, on Greenwood, we had indicated that there was an extra curb opening that we would be closing. That would make things more streamlined for the flow of traffic in and out. We're going to restripe the parking lot. We're going to put up all new lighting. We're going to put in new ADA accommodations for the building. We're also providing a cart corral for any shopping carts. There's another entrance along the state highway that seems to have been cut in over some time, almost on the neighbor's property to our right. We're going to close that entrance as well, fill in the area with some landscaping and shrubs. I don't see any detriments in the whole. I think that right now the property as a vacancy is a detriment. I think that the best way to improve it is to have this space occupied and for us to install the proposed improvements to, clean it up and modernize it. In any case, I don't know if you wanted to either go through some questions or look at the signage exhibit. Then we could talk about traffic and planning, I'll leave it up to you, Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to first go to Mr. O'Barrow, so we could just address the professionals' reports. We'll start with Mr. O'Barrow and then go to Mr. McNeil. Mr. O'Barrow.
Thank you, Chairman. I would agree. I had an opportunity to watch the video from the last hearing since I wasn't personally present. I also reviewed Mr. Carley's review letter as well as Mr. Lieber's response letter. I would agree that he's complying with everything that he represented at that last hearing. The only outstanding issue from our office would be the EV stations. He's indicating in his reply correspondence that he's looking, it appears per the ordinance that it qualifies as a major alteration, so he'd be required to provide EV stations. He's seeking for relief in that regard, so I would defer to the board.
So just for the record, so it's a township requirement for the EV stations?
It's a state requirement as
Okay.
well as a township ordinance.
And what would the number be required?
I believe it's one and possibly one make ready.
Okay. Mr. McNeil, you agree? Okay. There we go.
One spot?
It's one spot and one make ready spot.
I spoke with the applicant, and they will put that in.
Okay.
So we are not requesting relief.
Okay. All right.
That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barr. Mr. McNeil?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we went through this plan many times in technical review, and the applicant has done everything I've asked him to do, and we've cleaned up as best you can. The site is the site, the additional landscaping, lowering the sign, the removal of the dumpsters that are between the buildings. By the way, all those variances that are indicated on the application themselves are all existing violations. They're not creating those now. They're existing. The only new one is the floor ratio, and that's something that was added to the ordinance maybe 10, 15 years ago. So as far as we're concerned, he's done the best he can possibly do. He screened the dumpsters. He's eliminated a driveway on Route 27. He's going to make the building look nicer, so it's an improvement to the neighborhood or to the area. But it's, you had the hard decision to make. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Lieber with regard to engineering testimony? Okay. Shouldn't be good? Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lieber.
Thank you.
Chairman, before we dismiss Mr., I just wanted to clarify. So in Mr. Lieber's September 15th letter, I guess it's on the second to last page where the additional items the applicant agreed to at the July 29th meeting, and there's 8. I believe Mr. Lieber went through those, but I just wanted to point that out, that should the board act favorably upon this application, those are the conditions that the applicant would agree to, and I think the board has heard testimony on all of those, but I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lieber. Don't go anywhere. Our next witness is our architect. Singh? Okay. We'll have to have Mr. Chen sworn in and qualified as our architect.
Hold the microphone close to you. Right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
And state your full name for the record.
My name is Xin Yuan Chen, HSINGYUAN. Last name Chen, CHEN.
Mr. Chen, if you could please provide the board with the benefit of your background and qualifications.
Yes. I graduated in Columbia University in New York City, a master's degree in 2005, and that's a master's degree. And I have been professional experience more than 20 years.
And your license are current and good standing?
Yes.
Thank you. We will accept you. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chen, just for purposes of housekeeping, so I know that with the original application, we did file architectural details, including elevations and floor plans, and I believe they were submitted as part of the application. I know you brought extra copies with you, handouts. Mr. Chairman, I don't know if the board members have those in your packet, but we certainly have extras if you need them.
No, they were distributed with our packets, so I think
Okay,
we're good.
great. Okay, terrific.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Mr. Chen, if you would do us a favor, if you would walk us through the architectural features, which were part of your original renderings, including the floor plan, and also I know that you submitted a updated signage plan.
Yes.
Okay, and an outcome of the meeting in July where there was some discussion about reducing the height of the sign, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you first go through your architectural plans and describe them in detail, and then we can proceed accordingly.
Okay. Let's start with the drawing number R101, which is the building elevations. And on the top is the update render. You can see the sign, the freestanding sign, we have reduced to 33 feet from the ground. Based on the board member recommendation, we do follow that. On the right-hand side, that's an existing photo from the parking. And we try to build by the existing building. We has not changed any structurally for the building. We changed the color of the canopy, sorry, to the gray tone and to modernize the outside looking of the building. And at the bottom is the elevation of the Plainfield Avenue side. And we do the same. We keep all the existing brick facade and then change the metal canopy. On the second page, the R102. On the top is the elevation with the new signage. You can see the bottom, that's an existing photo from the same ash. So we present, propose the similar size of the new signage on the canopy. And at the bottom is, we do nothing change on the Greenwood Avenue side of elevation. We keep the existing brick facade. So we try to modernize the existing building and build by the existing building. So that's a change of the outside. Let's talk about the inside of the new proposed full market. So the drawing number will be the Z1. Yeah. So on the right-hand side is the level 1. So this building has a basement and just a partial basement. So on the left side is the basement. So the full market entry is at the right-hand bottom corner. So that's the entry vestibule from the parking side. So the building orientation is the same as the site plan. So at the bottom is a facing Lincoln Highway. At the top is the Greenwood Avenue. On the left side is the Plainfield Avenue. On the right-hand side is the parking lot. So people come in from the parking go into the building through the vestibule, and we have the weather double door vestibule. And get inside on the first floor, the major floor plan, the sales area is a mercantile area is around 12,000 square feet in the front. So when you get into the vestibule, you can see the fruit and veggie on the right-hand sales area. In the middle major area is just a grocery, the dry food shelf area. And at the back side is the meat area and seafood area and all the cooling, frozen, refrigerated, and then cooler island area. So there's a wall separate the back of house, the delivery, receiving area, and the loading zone. We have designed the material lift and can go down to the basement. So you can see that's between the column 2 and 2.5. That's the material lift. So all the goods and dry food will go down to the basement, and the basement is for all the cooler, freezer, and the dry food storage area. So I think this pretty much is this project.
Mr. Chen, just a couple of questions. So the finished materials on the outside of the building, can you, what does the applicant intend on?
Okay, sorry. So basically, we will keep all the existing brick, which is the red brick, stay at the same. But the current red canopy, the metal siding, we will change to the gray tone of the color. So basically, that's the main change.
Very good. And then as far as the signage goes, so we would have obviously where the signage,
the
freestanding sign has been
reduced
as depicted on your plan, and then we have the proposed sign which would go on the face of the building.
Correct. Yeah.
And that what are the dimensions that the height of the freestanding sign has been reduced to?
To 33 feet from the ground.
As opposed to what was originally proposed?
Original existing one, I believe, is around like a 60 feet something. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, do you want to add anything else, or do you think you've covered all the items as far as your plans and your...
I think I cover all that.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have any further direct questions of this witness, but you or your professionals or other board members might.
Okay, thank you. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Chen? Mr. Bedell? You good? Mr. Bauer? All right. Okay, all right, we're good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, our next witness is our traffic consultant, Jay Trapman, from McDonough, Ray and Associates. So we'll have to have him sworn in and qualified as a traffic engineering consultant. Thank you.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
And just state your full name for the record.
Yes, my name is Jay Troutman, Troutman.
And Mr. Troutman, I know you've appeared prior to us. It's been a while. If you could just please give the board with the benefit of summary of your qualifications and background, please.
Yes, I'm a principal with the firm of McDonough and Ray Associates. My field of specialty is traffic engineering. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. I've been conducting traffic studies for 38 years for various types of developments, as well as reviewing traffic studies on behalf of the planning and zoning boards that I represent. And I've been accepted in Edison Township as well as many other municipalities.
You drew the short straw this evening because we usually have Mr. Ray here, but we'll accept you. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's very funny. Mr. Trout, good evening. I know that you prepared and filed with our application, I think it was your letter, traffic impact study of February 17th, 2025. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Chairman, just so the board's aware, so when we had the various TRC meetings, it was recommended both by your professional engineer and planner that we undertake this traffic impact study in addition to the parking generation study, which Mr. Lieber had testified. So just to put this in context.
Mr. Chairman, can you just bring the microphone a little closer?
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
No, my apologies. Mr. Troutman, so if you could take us through the traffic impact study and the results of that as it relates to the proposed food market and what your conclusions were, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Yes, as you've already heard, this is basically a retail-to-retail tenant change with no expansion of retail square footage, and therefore no significant impact to the traffic that's historically existed at the property. The police review had requested this report, and once they reviewed it, they did sort of confirm that finding and sign off in their letter of July 10th, where they stated that the proposed plan does not directly affect traffic flow, and that makes sense because, again, retail for retail, no change in what's historically happened in this parking lot, except a lot of good things, I think, in terms of traffic coming with being able to fix some stuff on the site. As Mr. Lieber had mentioned, we're going to improve the control of access off of Lincoln Highway by closing off a connection to the adjoining property that comes in kind of at the corner of the site. That'll be closed, and the site will be self-contained, and the parking will not cross over into the other property. In addition, Greenwood Avenue has two kind of undefined openings. We will remove one of those and make the other one a two-way opening with proper signage and traffic control there. We will be improving the existing loading conditions at the site by removing the truck loading from Greenwood Avenue and relocating it to a loading area that's on the property. And there are some minor dimensional nonconformities, I would call them, that are all existing conditions, but the site has been functioning with the dimensions that are out there in the field. And overall, we believe that the on-site traffic flow conditions will be improved with this application. The driveways and the on-site traffic circulation pattern are adequate for site-generated vehicles to safely enter and exit the site and to access the parking spaces. And the reoccupancy of the building does not produce a detrimental traffic impact to the area.
Thank you, Mr. Troutman. So just if I could ask you to summarize. So as noted in your report, after you did the study, including the trip generation analysis, you concluded, and just wanted you to put that on the record, that the reoccupancy of this retail building would not generate a significant increase in traffic and would not have a noticeable impact on the intersection of Route 27 and Plainfield Avenue. Is that your testimony?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Troutman. Did you want to add anything else? You think you've covered everything?
I think I've covered everything.
Okay, very good. Mr. Chairman, I don't have any further questions, Mr. Troutman, but you and your board members and or your professionals might have some questions.
Board have any questions, Mr. Troutman?
Mr. Chair,
Mr.
I have a
Chopper?
question. So from the proposed supermarket to 27, there's going to be signage saying no left turn on 27?
Yes, that was one of the stipulations from the last hearing, and that's in Mr. Lieber's letter. Correct.
Okay, and you're going to have one sign or two signs there?
I don't believe it's been designed yet. Do you have a preference? We can,
If you could have, double signs, that would be beneficial
Double
to prevent.
posts?
Correct, because
Okay.
that's a busy intersection, and
Sure.
I'm sure people would avoid to make that left turn.
yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Troutman, did you do any type of analysis as to how many, and you can't, it's hard to predict the future, but how many cars will be exiting via the Route 27 exit versus the Greenwood Avenue, heading on 27 northbound versus heading on 27 southbound?
I didn't accept to note that typically the main roadway you would want to get to is Lincoln Highway, so I'd expect the majority of that volume would choose to enter onto Lincoln Highway, leaving the site.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other questions, Mr. Troutman? Okay. Seeing none. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere, John. Mr. Chairman, as I indicated previously, so we were going to bring Mr. Lieber back up to just review the and provide the justification for the variances, which, as Mr. Bignell noted, are pre-existing nonconformity, but As noted in Mr. Bignell's memorandum of July 22nd, he was requesting that testimony be provided on the statutory proofs to support the D-variance, which in this case is the floor area ratio deviation, as well as the testimony relative to the substantial detriment to the public good and the substantial impairment of the promulgated land use policies of the township should the variances be granted. So I'm going to ask Mr. Lieber to go through the planning justification analysis for those variances, as indicated, which are pre-existing nonconformities. So, so at this point, Mr. Lieber would be testifying as our planner.
Okay.
So,
And he's
Mr.
been
Lieber,
sworn and qualified, so he's ready to go.
My license is still active.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that's it. Nothing's changed in the past 20 minutes.
So, Mr. Lieber, if you would please, identify the pre-existing non-conforming variances, which would be the majority of the C variances, and then, of course, we have the floor area ratio D variance. So if you would go through those and then provide your planning justification and analysis, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
All right, so we're dealing with a property that has triple frontage, which is a little difficult because you have 3 front yards. So the first nonconformity is front yard setback. The zone requires 30 feet. This is the GB zone, by the way. And there's 5 feet existing. That's a condition that would be remaining. Maximum percent of building coverage. GB zone limits 25%. We calculate 39.5%. Again, that would be remaining. The building height, the zone limits 2-story or 30 feet. We do have a 1-story building, but we're about 35 feet. So that's, again, another existing condition that would remain. And finally, the maximum floor area ratio, GB zone limits 0.25. We calculate 0.39. And to be practical, the only way to really cure these nonconformities would be to demolish part of the buildings on this property. I just don't think that that's a feasible approach because they are existing. They've been existing for a number of years. And as well, they've been existing with full occupancy. So you've heard numerous testimony regarding potential and anticipated trip generation, the availability of off-street parking on the parking lot that's there today, the mix of the tenants versus what their hours of operation are in our parking study, which was done on this property to evaluate how many spaces those other tenants require versus what we're going to be needing for this use. On top of the fact that we calculated that the peak parking demand for the Sam Ash was actually higher than the use that's proposed. When we look at these FAR variances and the board deliberates this type of a request, we usually have to demonstrate that this property can accommodate the typically anticipated problems that would be associated with a higher floor area ratio. And really, what is a floor area ratio? It's another limit in land use to control intensity. So it's to reduce and limit the amount of floor area, which is then divided by your lot area, which comes up with a ratio. So again, we're at 0.39, 0.25 is permitted. I actually was unaware, Mr. Bignell stated that this was added to the code maybe 10 years ago. I was not aware of that. But in my review of how this site functions, I don't see any problems that would be associated with really just leaving the FAR the way it is today. The use that's proposed is a permitted use in the zone. We're not asking the board to increase the size of these buildings. I listened to Mr. Troutman's testimony. I don't see any negative traffic impacts associated with the use. We found no negative parking impacts. And we also indicated that there were a number of positives that come along with the application, including the removal of the loading in the back, the change to the access from the highway as well as the street in the rear, the restriping of the parking lot, the installation of ADA improvements, additional landscaping, new sidewalk in the back, new trash enclosure, things of that nature. Those to me are all positives. Again, I don't see any detriment, so to say, that you would typically find with an increase in FAR. And again, it is an existing condition and it would just remain as it is today for this use, which is, again, a permitted use.
Thank you, Mr. Lieber, for that analysis on the variances sought. Mr. Chairman, with that, I will turn it back to you or your board members and your professionals if you have any questions for Mr. Lieber on the planning testimony.
Does the board have any questions, Mr. Lieber, with regard to the planning testimony? Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Lieber.
Thank you.
Chairman, I just wanted to clarify for the record. So as Mr. Lieber noted, Toth did review Mr. Lieber's revised turning radius plan, and he did submit a letter of September 11th, 2025, which I know your staff has and I believe was provided to you, but I just wanted to make a note for the record that that letter was submitted to the board, and he found that proposed site plan to be suitable and acceptable under the New Jersey Uniform Fire Code regulations.
Yes. Thank you. We received it. Thank you for putting that in the record.
Mr. Chairman, we don't have any further direct testimony at this point with our witnesses. I presume you're going to open up to the public,
Okay.
but at this point, we will allow you to proceed.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we will now open to the public. So we will start within residents within 200 feet of subject site. If you're within 200 feet of the subject site, you received a notice via certified mail. Residents will receive 6 minutes for any commentary on the application. You are allowed to ask questions of the applicant and the applicant's professionals. The board asks that any questions are asked prior to commentary. So once commentary begins, the timer will begin. So even if you ask a question, you say, well, I don't agree with that. Well, you just commented, your timer will begin. So we will start within 200 feet. Anyone within 200 feet? Sir?
Sir, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And state your full name for the record, providing your address.
Eric Hilders, Helders, 119 Hillcrest Avenue in Edison.
Thank you, Mr. Hilders. You may proceed.
Well, I have a couple of questions. First, Mr. Lieber. How many parking spots again were there total in that?
I'm sorry, Mr. Lieber, I'm going to need to get you on my microphone.
There are 63 parking spaces.
Does that include the one that will disappear when you have to extend the fence for the garbage?
No, that results in one spot lost, so it's going to be 62.
Okay, and does that include the one that I believe they discussed for the trucks for delivery that you would have to set aside for that?
Yes, that's accounted.
Okay, so I have no problem with this building being used for what they're asking. I'll probably go there myself and get good fresh fruits and vegetables. However, I do have questions about the parking and how many people will wind up parking on the streets, especially in front of our house on Greenwood and the beginning of portion of Hillcrest. When you did your parking study, did you do anything besides sit in the Aldi's parking lot and count cars?
Yes, we counted cars on this property as well. The reason we did that is because this building is vacant right now, so it was an opportunity to actually get the true number of spaces that are being used for the other tenants on the property.
That's good, because I did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
What were your averages, if I may ask, Monday through Friday and then Saturday, because most of the businesses there are closed on Sunday?
Give me 1 second. So the way we had done this is, we looked to count the utilized parking space on this property during the anticipated peak hour of the food store. So we had selected that was between noon and 2 p.m. on a Saturday. And we found that the peak parking in the lot was 17 cars at 12:45 p.m. So we didn't go Monday to Friday and count every day. We looked to overlap the proposed peak time of the food store. That's how we did that.
Well, considering I live 2 houses over from it, Monday through Friday, the average was 13.9 vehicles.
Mhm.
And on Saturday, I can't say it was exactly 12:45. I averaged 20.5 cars from those. Did you take into consideration any of the local demographics, cultural shopping habits, which differ from Aldi's main constituents, density of other Asian food markets, parking capacity and demand at those existing markets, things like that? Because I understand you're trying to compare places that don't serve deli meats and things like that. However, if you go to H Mart, if you go to Cam Man, if you go to any of the other Asian food markets, you'll notice one thing. It's packed. And it's always packed. Because the Asian community shops differently than the white community. They shop every single day to get fresh food for their table. While people shopping at Aldi generally make one trip a week, maybe 2 trips a week. It is completely different. Did you spend time at H Mart just counting the number of people who go in, not even the cars? There will be people parking on the street.
So I really have a two-part response to this. And I also want to consult with Mr. Troutman. The witness here seems to have a peculiar knowledge of the shopping habits of the Asian community, which there are no authoritative studies that I've come across doing this type of work that discern food stores are broken out by any kind of culture or anything like that. I do want to ask Mr. Troutman if he's ever seen a study of that nature. To me, if you have that type of study, I would be interested in reading it, but I've never come across anything like that. So that's the first part of my answer. The second part of my answer is, I'm going to ask Mr. Troutman if he's ever come across that.
Mr. Chapman, you're up behind the microphone.
There's no study for that factor.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Elder, just so you know, you have 1 minute left. Thank you.
The second is the traffic. I guess that would go to Mr. Troutman. We could share. One thing I ask that would be added to this, since I don't have a lot of time to speak, would be simply, is there a way to direct traffic left out of the parking lot onto Greenwood? Because as it is, to avoid the traffic light, people already cut down Greenwood and then up Hillcrest. Hillcrest has a lot of children.
Mike, please.
Hillcrest has a lot of children. They play in the street, they play on the front lawns. We already have quite a bit of traffic to avoid that traffic light. And especially since they made the turn off of Greenwood onto Plainfield a right turn only, the traffic is only increased. So when they leave that parking lot, I believe they will zigzag onto Hillcrest to get down to Runyon and on, where there will be less traffic trying to get out onto the road and less people trying to get onto Route 27, because you know how that road is right there at the traffic light.
So I've looked at the traffic circulation in this area. I mean, this is historically retail, so whatever activity has historically occurred would continue to occur. The one thing I did notice was that probably should be able to make a right out of Greenwood in case you wanted to go north on 27, so you could work your way up to the next traffic light, because if you go left on Greenwood, you can't get to the traffic light. You can only turn right. So for positive flow in both directions on 27, you would either make a right directly out of the site onto 27, or you would use Greenwood, not Hillcrest, but Greenwood to go further up to Stony and use that traffic light. So that, I mean, I think that's more positive circulation than further restricting Greenwood, which can be made.
My main worry is traffic that this will.
Don't anticipate, again, property added traffic to Hillcrest, because if you want to go back to 27, you don't need to use Hillcrest. Property needing to use.
Thank you very much. Anyone else within 200 feet of subject site want to be heard?
Can you bring that microphone closer to you? Ma'am, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth? so help
Yes.
you God?
Yes, I do.
And state your full name and provide your
Okay.
address.
My name is Queen Lam, Q-U-Y-N-H, last name L-A-M Lam. I'm a resident 118 Hughes Avenue, first house behind the store. My concern is the store is too close to the traffic, you know. That's the best spot for the, always have, people always make a bad turn, and that always cause a lot of accident. So if they have a store open, then will be cause more traffic. And also, I'm not trying to come to accuse the Asian people drive, they don't look at the side. Because so many times I walk and I saw the Asian people, even they say do not, only left turn only, right turn only, they still turn left. And I even stop them. I say, excuse me, do you know, it's no left turn, it only goes right turn. They don't care, they just go. So I'm not trying to accuse Asian because I am Asian. I know a lot of them doing like that. And also I'm concerned about the parking, because if they only got 62 parking, then they will parking in front of my house. So they will be always, I don't have private space. You know, if you can do 24 hours, 7 days a week, no parking, only resident only, I will be fine with that.
Chairman, I don't want to take time out from my witness.
Let me just see if she's done with her time, and then you can
Sorry,
respond. No, it's okay. It's okay. If you are done, Mr. Hillman does have something, but you still have time if you want to continue.
I'm done. I'm
Okay.
done.
All right,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Hillman.
Mr. Chairman, I think you recall that Sergeant Winters, traffic control coordinator, of course, for the police department, did issue a letter to the board July 10th, and he indicated that it should be noted to the board that to the applicant that this entire residential area behind the property is residential parking permit only. Any intention for overflow parking in this area will not be allowed due to this. So no one will be allowed to, unless you have a resident parking permit, you would not be allowed to park behind the property, and Sergeant Winters indicated that in his memorandum.
Okay, thank you. And I would just want to correct the record. I drive about 18,000 miles a year, and I walk 3 miles a day, and there are bad drivers of all races, religions, creeds, sex, no matter where you go. So I just wanted to make the record clear on that one. Anyone else within 200 feet of the subject site wanted to be heard? Anyone outside of 200 feet wanted to be heard?
Sir, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your full name, provide your address.
My name is Bowie Chung, C-H-U-N-G. My address is 126 Hillcrest Avenue. I pretty much agree with everything that my neighbor has said so far. And also, I just want to correct the parking situation and the limitation of the parking for resident only for our streets particularly. It's only in effect during the Monday to Friday. And on weekends, I think, yeah.
Wait, no, I'm sorry, ma'am. Only you could speak.
Oh, sorry. I think on the weekend it's free for all at any time. I forgot, but the much of the restrictions only exist Monday to Friday, and we do expect a lot more traffic flow during the weekends because most people, shop on the weekend. And I just want to, make a point that, this property was used by Sam Ash, and I lived there, for maybe up to 20 years now. That I know the traffic, the frequency of customer in Sam Ash is probably not gonna compare to what's coming right now. I mean, it's gonna increase. It has to, and by how much we don't know. I don't think there's no significant impact. There's gonna be some impact to our streets, and I just want you guys to consider that. I myself have 3 small children. Across the street, I have three small children. They all play outside in the front yard, and we try to keep them off the street. But I just worry about the cars coming in and out, driving really fast through the block. That's all I have. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, sir. Anyone else from outside 200 feet wanting to be heard? Anyone else, last call, wanting to speak? Can I get a motion to close the public portion?
Motion to close public portion?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Schneider, second by Mr. Johnny. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Public portion is now closed. Mr. Hillman, would you like to have summation? Just to remind you, we only have 5 board members present this evening, so it's your.
Yes, the only thing before I provide any summation, at this point, the applicant believes it's probably best to defer taking a vote on this application for this evening, given the fact that you don't have your full complement and your 7 eligible members to vote. So I'm happy to provide a summary, or we can defer.
It's your choice. If you want to give a summation tonight, you want to give a summation prior to the vote, that's your choice. I'm not going to force you either way.
Before I answer that, though, I would just want to defer to my engineer and planner, Mr. Lieber. Did you want to add anything or respond to any of the?
Well,
Hang on.
if you're going to add additional testimony, we'll have to go back out to the public. So
Oh, fair enough. Well, I just wanted, no, I understand. I just wanted to know if Mr. Lieber wanted to respond to any of the comments by the public, because he was trying to, I guess, respond to some of the information, but that's up to the board. If otherwise, we can proceed.
I mean, he could have done that prior to us closing the public portion.
That's fine. Okay, fair enough. Okay. I have no issue providing a summation with the understanding that the applicant's asking that this matter would be deferred to a vote at your next meeting, which I think is in October.
Okay.
So as you know, the applicant, Asian Fresh of Edison, has applied to the board for preliminary and final site plan approval, along with the D variances and bulk C variances, which have been described both in your professional review memorandum and our professional planner reviewed in detail. And this is to occupy the former Sam Ash Music Center as an Asian retail food market and we've identified that for the record. Previously, as Mr. Lieber indicated, retail and personal services uses are permitted in the GB zone, the general business district zone, and the applicant has reviewed all of the professional memorandums in this matter. There's also been several TRC meetings, and we've, I believe, addressed the comments and have submitted revised plans addressing the comments both of your professional planner and engineer. And as far as I understand, they are satisfied with the resubmissions regarding the items that were addressed in those letters. As you know from the testimony, the applicant is seeking a D variance for maximum floor area ratio, which is existing nonconformity, and Mr. Lieber did put his planning justifications and his analysis on any detrimental impact and concluded to the zone and to the area in question, and concluded that, quite frankly, it is not a detriment, as was requested by Mr. Bignell's memorandum to discuss that. In addition, the applicant did do a parking generation report, and after performing a study of the similar retail stores, concluded that the actual Field studies conducted demonstrate during peak hours, typically Saturday and Sunday, there's adequate parking would be available at the property, while the project necessitates a parking variance, 68 spaces required where 63 spaces exist. It appears to be a reasonable request, as the tenant mix on the property can function adequately given the total number of available spaces in the existing lot. As you heard from our traffic consultant, the applicant also submitted a traffic impact report outlining how the change in use will affect queuing at the intersection and whether the change in use poses any detriments. The report prepared by McDonough and Ray Associates and testified by Mr. Troutman concludes that the reoccupancy of the existing retail building will not generate a significant increase in traffic and will not have a noticeable impact on the existing traffic vehicle queuing at the intersection of Route 27 and Plainfield Avenue. You also heard testimony from our architect, Mr. Chen. He went through the details of the proposed facade modifications and the signage and did testify as to those improvements. So with that said, obviously I indicated that we're going to defer this at a later meeting for a vote, but we would ask that the application be reviewed favorably. Also, as I indicated, there were several conditions that the applicant has agreed to, and they were all set forth in Mr. Lieber's September 15th, 2025 report, which outline and in many respects were responses to comments both from your engineers and planners report. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I will conclude my summation. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Secretary, how's our calendar looking?
So we can put this on for October 14th for a vote, if that's...
Okay, that works for you and your
That's
professionals? Okay, all right, so for anyone here present, anyone listening at home, this case will be carried till Tuesday, October 14th for a vote only. Meeting will begin at 7 p.m. here in council chambers. If you received a notice, you will not receive another notice. This will serve as your notice. This meeting will be, this case will be carried until Tuesday, October 15th at 7 p.m. And thank you very much. Thank you to members of the public for coming out this evening.
Mr. Chairman, just one point of clarification. So just so I understand, so the matter, all testimony's been presented. I'm not sure it's necessary to bring our witnesses back that evening, but
As long as you don't present, and my legal
So
counsel
it'll
can,
just
she can
be-
correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you are correct.
yeah, I would agree. And so I presume this matter, the deliberation of the vote would be presumably one of the near first matters that the board would take up at its October 14th meeting?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Secretary, any other business come before the board this evening?
That'll be all this evening.
Seeing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Schneider, seconded by Mr. Cerrito. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Board stands adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
There you go.
Catch next.